Live from the floor of the NYSE, that's a market open.
All right, thank you for watching. This is still trading the Emini S&P 500 futures market here. As you can see in the bottom left-hand corner and also the top left-hand, we are trading the continuous contract volume on the 5-minute chart. This is the 9th week already, and we are on a Monday here, 25th of July 2016. And I can tell you, as you can see here in the top, it is very much grayed out, but you can see here in the top, very top line, basically, or menu, there is an option trade next to chart and next to e-signal applications or apps. And this will be gone very soon. From Thursday, this option will be gone, and I don't know why exactly that happened. The reason being, or it was mentioned that interactive data was purchased or had a merger with some other company, therefore this option seems to be gone. So no trading from e-signal anymore, which I think is very unfortunate for their company. If it will work at some of your platforms, maybe let me know, but I think they restricted it completely for Europe, Africa and the Middle East, so no trading for me anymore from this lovely platform here. But later in the week I will be changing, or over the weekend I will be changing to a different platform. It's not that beautiful, I would say, but still works, and we can place our trades over there, trading from my demo account over there, and then we can see if we can take profits. I think I will be looking at a live trading room soon anyway, and then we will be trading real money over there as well. But let's take it easy for now, because we are still in the phase of establishing this YouTube channel, and obviously these videos, as you can see, this video was uploaded a little bit later, not on the weekend as I said before, because of these issues. I had a lot of work to do setting up this new platform the way I think it is right. So we are only 1 minute to the open. As you can see here, like usual, 9:30 we will open on this E-mini market here, E-mini S&P 500 futures market. I'm looking at placing a short order here from 66.50. We are trading with 5 contracts, as I said earlier. This is a $30,000 demo account at the moment, and I would like to be able to double up my position size. So now we have 5 contracts, and I want to be able to double up to 10 contracts if we run negative for around 1.5 points. And that being said, we have to have an account or margin in our account for around 30,000 or of around 30,000 US dollars to be able to have 10 contracts online. So our monthly target or our monthly goal is around 10% of total account value. So that means we want to achieve around $3,000 per month on this account. However great this account may be, but being able to double up such contracts or contract amount would be useful, I think, because obviously this is part of my strategy and should also be something you should look at as well, because my experience tells me that trading the 5-minute chart as well as having such entries as you can see here to be able to double up and have a stop around 3 points away in this market is something we can work with. It is definitely achievable, those 3 points, either direction, positive or negative. And normally the market has a little bit of noise, so being able to cope with some of our losses in the beginning to double up maybe a position here would be most appropriate, I think. As you can see in the very bottom, now this is a 5-second chart, but we will be returning to the 5-minute chart shortly. And then you will see that we mainly, or that I mainly use two indicators, which are volume and average true range, ATR, as you can see here. I will be explaining to you also, once we get more established here and along this way, how to trade my two strategies. So these are the breakout strategies, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm also planning to make a video about those in the very near future, explaining you with some examples what those strategies mean. For example, here, as you can see, we are approaching now the pre-opening low, which is indicated by the blue line here. And if we break through this level, normally we see much more volume coming in and some more momentum to the downside. Since I'm in a long position, unfortunately, at this point, I was anticipating more of a breakout to the top. Therefore, I didn't double up my position, as you can see here. And now we are breaking through this blue line, so I'm a little bit concerned that this continuation will go on and the short momentum will persist. Therefore, I'm looking to exit this market here as soon as I can to limit my losses at this point, because obviously if we break through this level, we can see much more momentum coming in. Normally I would be trading these levels, as I said here, for example, this blue line and bottom or top of the chart. These are drawn prior to the session. I will be drawing them on the chart so you can see them as well. And if we break out of these levels, I normally take the ATR of the first 5 bars of the session, let's say, average those ATRs, and then I multiply them by 3, so 3 times the ATR as my profit target. I will give you an example here shortly. So I think this will happen here on this day. This is already Tuesday, 26th of July 2016, and we stopped trading for Monday because Monday seems to be our worst day so far in this project. And you can see here the accumulated loss of $625 on our demo 1 opening account. As you can see here, I pre-recorded those videos, so I'm able to actually skip through those videos here. You can see now that makes it much faster, obviously, and doesn't take so much time, because it's normally sessions, as you can see, they can take up to 2-3 hours. And that would be definitely very, very long to view all of those trades I made during the week. These videos here I'm doing, they are mainly serving two purposes. First of all, I would like to have evidence of my trade online so everyone can see what I was doing in the week. And also, secondly, I want to review my own trades so I can review my trading approach and my trading strategy here as well along the way, and adopt and adjust a few of those things I'm doing. I have been doing a few mistakes here in the past, and results are definitely not as good as they should be, but they should not be a hindrance to continue with this project and show other people how trading may look like and what points or resistance support levels to look at, what are interesting trading strategies here to be looking at. So this is also part of my strategy. If we run positive for around 1.25 points, I will be placing my stop at the break-even level. You can see that here, 5 contracts, sell stop, right in the middle of the chart. Normal order obviously placed right on top of my entry level, which was 61.75. So the blue line here, as you can see in the top, is the pre-opening session high, and we are approaching this level. Our first profit target is reached here, this green level, but I'm anticipating the breakout. So part of my strategy is also the anticipation of this breakout level. If you want to get into this market and also want to participate in such breakouts, I would say you should look at entry points prior to the breakout. Otherwise, you might stumble into a trade and the market will immediately reverse back into range, and then you are caught off guard being able to enter the market a little bit prior to such a breakout is always superior and also gives you better profit targets, because the profit targets is always very similar, so 3 times the ATR. So for example, the ATR here is 0.91 or 0.9, let's say. We should round it down, times 3 is around 2.50, because we round down. So around 2.50 on top of this breakout range. So 65 plus 2.5 would be 67.50. That would be our normal target area. But since I already got into this market very early, I was looking at some exit scenario, because my first profit target was already hit. But as you will see here, the actual profit target will be higher, around 67, or even a little bit beyond 67. And you will see here that we actually hit this higher level. So I was not able to cover all of my positions here at the very top, which I should have done. But this is just something which happens. I think a typical trading mistake. These can actually be called trading mistakes, because impatience is a trading mistake, I would say, and also not being able to follow through your strategy 100% is also a trading mistake, I would say. So you can see here this in this example, we are actually returning back into range, and I'm looking at a long position because of that reversal back into range. You will see a few video clips here in between. Don't be disturbed, these are from prior videos. It seemed to be have crawled into this videos here. I have no idea why that happened, but never mind, I will show you these. So we are still on a Tuesday here, and I wanted to be in a long position, because it seems that we are approaching a second breakout again out of this range. But my sell stop is almost at break even, and I will be pulling the trigger here break even, because we will not break out of this market again, out of this range again, because we already hit our profit targets. Maybe this is the reason why we return into range, and you will see a continuation now to the downside. So this is also something we can look at. What do we do when we approach such a level, the support and resistance level, the blue line in this case? What do we do if we break through this level, if we reverse back into this range, and so on? So these are some strategies which you should think about if you want to get into this trading approach. So take this example here and look at how you would be trading such an example. Then you come up with your own strategies, you write them on a piece of paper, and you just adjust them over time and see how that works for yourself. As you can see here, this is an older session. I don't know how these videos got into this here. But you can see now I'm still looking for a long position here, because the break seems to be rather weak. You can see the volume here in the bottom is quite low volume. I'm always saying the less indicators you use, the easier it is, because obviously even combining two indicators, such as the support and resistance levels, and then the volume plus the rules which you should come up with or write, what you're going to do in case you break through this level and so on. These are already a lot of points to consider. So don't have 10 indicators on your chart. It's just too confusing, and you will have a lot of overlapping signals. So it's much better if you have not such overlapping signals. So anyway, you can see I was drawing this flag. This is a typical flag pattern, so we are closing this here at the very end. And I was actually not anticipating that we will be breaking through this level on that day so fearsomely, but you will see that very shortly. So we are still in a long position, but I will be liquidating this position here very shortly, because it seems that the market doesn't want to push any further to the upside, and the volume is coming back into this market. As you can see here, the last red bar has more volume than the bar prior to that. Then we made a doji actually, so that is also part of my strategy. I will be exiting all trades on dojis. So this is also here an indication that I should be exiting this market. And I would just want to pause the video here quickly. It seems that I'm having struggle with this recording, but you could see the doji in the very top of the chart. That was my exit points, and you can see all this red bar pushing to the downside. This is absolutely amazing, and you can see that so many people anticipate this short position breaking through this flag pattern, and also this red line here. This red line was the last support or resistance level, I think, at this point, or the opening. Actually, it was the opening of this session. And then you can see even that we broke through this last blue line at the very bottom, which is the pre-opening session low. And you can see even more volume coming in at this point. It's unbelievable. But from this point on, I was anticipating a short position here, or a long position again back into the range, because obviously it was a very much an overextension here, I would say. And as you can see here, it seems to be a continuation to the upside. So unfortunately, I will be getting out of this position here very shortly, but it should be some kind of support or resistance level. As you can see here, a little bit of a support area. Okay, I think I didn't do any more trades on that last day. I think I got out of this position here, break even. Okay, we don't have to wait through this. I will be getting out of this position here very shortly. Because I missed this breakout, I really wanted to anticipate or participate in this breakout, but I missed it because it was so quick and fierce that I could not open the position immediately. I should have done it after the doji maybe, or even a little bit prior to that, when we were reversing back into range, keeping that position for another breakout. So sometimes definitely it's true, you should keep your winning trades and then you let them run for a little while to get some extra profits. That's definitely true. And my profit target is around 5 points on a daily basis, but obviously that cannot be achieved always. But as I said, 10% of total account value, that would be only about 12.5 points, I would say, per month. So this would be 2.5 winning days, or let's say 3 winning days per month, and in surplus. So you can have losing and winning days, so they will be balancing out each other, but I want to achieve obviously 3 or 4 winning days in a month surplus. As you can see here, we are opening very close to the pre-opening session high, which is the blue line again. And normally from this line, if we open so close to this line, we should actually anticipate a break into the range again. So not a breakout, but rather a reversal back into range. So I was, as you can see here, I will be entering a short position here very shortly. You could see this buy order was just for the first seconds, but as you can see now, we are reversing back into range. So the market is not breaking out any further, and that could be a very good indication that we actually would be reversing back into range. As you can see here, a very nice trade, I would say, and you will see a little bit of a continuation to the downside into the range. Unfortunately, I hit my profit target here already, and that was not the greatest of profit targets, I would say, but I should be keeping this trade for much longer. But obviously, as you can see here, I took my profits already at 68, because it doesn't necessarily have to continue this. Actually, I took my profits even higher than this, which was a very unlikely position. But this happens again, maybe a trading mistake, but I can't recover or recoup what I was thinking on that day 100%. But I will be explaining those trades, and I will be trying to explain those trading mistakes that I do here along the way. So you can see a very nice continuation to the downside, and I exited this market at the very wrong spot here at 67.50. This would be a very good trade, and we will be pushing down further, but a little bit later in this session. And unfortunately, again, I'm doing something which I should not be doing, which is turning around such a position here. But you could see my signals, they showed me that I should be in a long position from this point, and it was not wrong. However, you can see here we took some profits again here on the way up. So not bad, it was a good profit target. I think 67, so 2.75 profit target. But then again, we will be reversing to the downside. And you can see, I think, some breakouts here again. So I can show you another breakout scenario out of this range. But let's see, because would be the last day which records our demo trades. Because from tomorrow, this trade button here at the very top, in that menu, you can see new tools, chart, trade, e-signal apps, and so on. And trade will be gone from tomorrow. Very unfortunate. e-signal seems to have removed all of those features and the broker integration. So this is a very unfortunate thing, because you will not be able to trade from this platform anymore. No real money, no demo, not anything. So just data. And obviously that is not something we want to do. So we just want to move on to the next application or software, which is less lovely, but still it is very, very useful and very good, and serves the purpose of trading on the chart. So you can see here a continuation to the downside. So actually that was a trade I took, and it will be stopped out here very soon. Not a very smart trade, because we actually reverse all the way back down. We made our ATR here already of 1.5 points roughly to the upside. So this is a retracement, and then now we have a continuation to the downside. So a really nice pattern here, and we actually will be looking at breaking through this 2163 level here sooner or later. And therefore I want to be out of this position as soon as I can. As you can see here, we are approaching the 63 levels very quickly, and I'm at the wrong point. So I exited this market already, as you can see, a little bit earlier. You can see there's exit. So for example, this is a trade I do sometimes because of this breakout, that the breakout appears, but it is not very, very strong on this last bar. So sometimes I do this, but it's also something I should not be doing. So I have two consecutive mistakes here, As you could see here again, there's blue line and a lot of volume coming into the downside. So what we should actually do, we should be trading this breakout only in one direction. So I will be looking at this, and I will make a session, I think, a separate session where I will show you some examples, and I will show you some of the trades I made, as well as give you some insights into what you should look at and what you can do in order to improve your breakout strategy. So normally I'm looking at a continuation here. And as you can see, the market is really breaking through this level. Unfortunately, this blue line is not here anymore, but I will show you that here. So that was at 63, this level, and you can see a little bit later in this chart that we actually broke through this 63 levels, and we were pushing way lower here at this point. So this was actually a really, really good breakout, and I should have traded this breakout instead of trading the opposing direction. But these things will happen so many times, and it will happen to you so many times that you will be doing something which you should not be doing. But this market is very precise and very fierce, I would say. Every mistake will be punished. So we have to be very stringent on our execution. And even this week, it's already Tuesday since I'm doing this recording here. Already on this Tuesday, I was doing something which I should not be doing, and you will see that in the coming week. I could take some profits today, around $1,000, but still you can see there is a perfect breakout, a clean breakout, but unfortunately I exited right on the tick on this breakout. So just a second or 5 seconds before the actual breakout appeared, because I got impatient at this point in time. It's a very unfortunate trading situation, and you should always try to avoid such things. Be patient, follow your strategy, and just take it in a very, very calm environment, because you have to focus and you have to also be confident about what you're doing. If you are always changing or adopting your strategies and you don't have the confidence to execute on one point on your strategy, then it will be very difficult to make adjustments to this, and also to find your mistakes later and build up some confidence in your execution. You normally will be doing a variation of things, and reviewing those trading results will be an absolute mess, because nobody understands what you were really doing, including yourself, obviously, because normally we should be reviewing our trades. So you can see here, this should be the last trade of this week. So you can see here, for example, that we actually are approaching the opening session low. The opening session low here is 85.25. And in the future I will try to draw those lines, even though it is distracting me a little bit from my actual charting here. But I will be trying to draw those lines so you can see the breakout levels. So we already had our first pre-opening session breakout level 63, and now we are approaching the pre-opening, no, the intraday session, opening session low. And the opening session is decided from 9:30 US Eastern until 10:30 US Eastern. So this is here in the very bottom. You can see the time, just 1 hour into the session. Unfortunately, I exited this trade here again, but the breakout seems to not have appeared at this point in time. So we see now if that actually happens. Is it still the same day? Let's see. No, I don't think so. All right. Anyway, so as you can see, it seems to be a little bit of a continuation here to the downside. But unfortunately, I exited this market again in a not very likely spot. But it will be okay. This will be a break-even week here. No profit, no loss, because we missed these 2 trading days, Thursday and Friday, and I could see some good opportunities on those days. But I think we can disregard this week. It's not very significant, and we are still in a kind of a adjustment phase, I think, taking it step by step to some next level here. So you can see now that's the only thing I was doing here on this Thursday, because I realized the trade thing is gone in the charting platform. You can see new tools, chart, and the brokerage account seems to have disappeared. So obviously we cannot be trading on this chart anymore. So the only thing which I could do was giving you some indication, and I was pulling this little red arrow here, down arrow, at the point where I was thinking that we will be moving towards. So I was placing this red arrow here just to indicate a short position, that I wanted to anticipate a short position and obviously a breakout out of this range. So the range is 65.50, as you can see here. But I will be placing those arrows here very shortly, just for you to show you, for you to see. That obviously doesn't make much sense, but I was a little bit overwhelmed and I was searching for this brokerage account here. Obviously it is gone now. And I did my research and it seems to be that I have been merged or have been bought by another company. I'm not 100% sure what's the reason for that, but it seems to be rather an unfortunate position for this e-signal platform here, because obviously if you cannot place any trades anymore on the chart or in general, then this is just a data provider basically. So you can see quite a fearsome push to the upside, but we will be looking at something here very shortly. Let me see if that appears very soon. There's a lot of weakness in this bar here, and also I have some signals which show me that we should be entering a short position here very soon, and therefore I indicate that by this red arrow. And then you can see the perfect opening trade for 5 points easily in one bar. Even here you can see, and since so much volume is coming into this bar, you can even anticipate the breakout here, which was 56.50. This last very small green bar to the left. So this is the low of the pre-opening session, and if you break through this level, normally you see more volume coming in, as you can see. So a really nice breakout out of this range, and only one bar made our 5 points profit target roughly. Very interesting trade. Anyway, I think that should be it, because I will be returning to real trading next week. In any case, I want to thank you for watching this, and I will be uploading more videos here in the very near future. I will be drawing those lines here just for fun actually, but normally our profit target for this day would have been achieved. As you can see now, I think my last indication was not 100% right, because we will be actually reversing a little bit further up, but that can be seen here very shortly. So these are the things we do here. Normally we trade the Emini S&P 500 futures market on the 5-minute chart, and I'm trying to set up a live day trading room, a website and an Excel sheet where you can see the trading results. In the live trading room I will be trading right in front of you, but that will be coming at a later stage and is also monetized, so that we will be looking at a little bit later. But for now I think I can share a little bit of my experience and my strategies here on YouTube, and hope I can generate some interest obviously. And it's very good because it has two benefits. First of all, I can review my own approach and also share some information with others. I have gotten already some good input, which I want to include here in the very near future. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Take care.